What? Oh. Are we on the internet? Fuck. Oh.
So, he finally stopped wetting the bed.
Finally.
Which has obviously made Laura super stoked.
That was a lot of urine.
Yeah. Good evening, and welcome to a new episode of Vox Machina solo a Taliesin story.
Taliesin edition.
Yes.
That camera. Hi.
Well, we had the internet's Marisha Ray lined up to be on the show tonight, along with our good friend Taliesin. However, she is under the weather. Aren't we all technically under the weather?
Yeah, I don't know where that
phrase
comes from.
Is there any weather beneath us?
Or are we ever above the weather?
I'm above a lot.
But
go back to that shot, Chief. Let's take a look at answering the questions for Marisha tonight will be Oh no. Oh, we're there already. We had two sets of questions prepared tonight. We had a set of questions prepared for if Marisha showed up, and a set for if she didn't. This is obviously the set for if she did not show up. Oh God!
No, I feel like I've been watching a lot of Brother Theodore this week, and I feel like I'm the guy you call on David Letterman when everyone got sick like 3 hours before the show. I definitely. I feel like that guy.
Well, we had already reached out to you about being on the show prior to finding out Marisha's sick, and we did that just as a buffer because we know that Marisha can get a little violent on the show.
Yeah, it's especially she gets flu, she gets stronger.
Yeah, she sent me a text.
Very physically violent.
Oh yeah, the Sudafed. She sent me a text and she said, "It's not that I just want to spend more time with Matt. It's that I want to spend less time with you." So I thought that was really
sweet. They may have purchased Monster Hunter this week or the last week. I'm not sure. That might have something to do with it.
I have $20 as one of them forgets and puts up a post from Vegas tonight on Instagram. That's what I think is going on. And you know what? Good for you guys. Good for you going to Vegas, blowing all of us off. Come on, man. It's almost Thursday.
Yeah, no.
We have some announcements for tonight's show. We should really start the show.
We got some good announcements.
We do have good announcements. Our good friends at Dark Horse Comics will be selling a print version. Where did it go?
It's behind your left shoulder on the wall, right next to
a print version of the first issue of Vox Machina Origins at their booth during Emerald City Comic Con in Seattle. Only 1,000 copies have been made, and you cannot get one anywhere else. Limit is 5 copies per person per day. Pick one up for $10. Be sure to arrive to the Dark Horse booth, number 1708. Hope you're writing this all down, guys.
Wow, this is a lot.
Arrive there early, as these babies are first come, first serve each day. Emerald City Comic Con is March 1st through 4th. Get your gorgeous Vox Machina Origins issue 1 special edition. You want to know something crazy about this comic? Selena, pull out a tiny bit. And Chief, take me back.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yep.
What is that? On the back cover of this comic, who is this? Sorry, Chris. Not really.
Yeah, and I love that there's an ad for a show that isn't Critical Role. Apparently, we have a show.
Army Talons. Matt Colville.
Matt Qua. Yeah.
Three of my favorite people. I saw Amy Dallin at the Black Panther premiere thing.
I finally saw the movie. So
You did?
I can now have a conversation with the human, which is really great.
I saw it again Sunday, and it was.
I could never speak to anyone ever again.
So good, man.
It was really fun.
Without spoiling anything, it's a great film.
It's up there for my Marvel movies, man.
It's up there. It's up there with, for me, it's up there with the Dolph Lundgren Punisher. I would say John Carter. Was that Marvel?
John Carter?
Disney.
Yeah, thank you.
Guys, Campaign 2, Episode 6 podcast is available this Thursday. Without further ado, let us discuss with our esteemed guests Episode 6 of Critical Role Campaign 2, The Howling Mines.
Do we have... Nice texture.
I suggested to the team who names the episodes, there's a panel of 26 people who name each episode. I suggested to the team this week, Nolan with the homies.
That's pretty good.
I got an auto reply back that said the person was out of office.
Buttery Nolsomeness would have also been fun.
Ooh,
Hot
buttery
butter, yeah.
Nolsomeness?
Yeah.
For whom the bell knolls.
That's good too.
I had a lot I was coming up with the other night. Guys, we have some crit roll stats for this episode. Crit roll stats are provided by Crit Roll Stats at Crit Roll Stats. I get 10 grand every time I say their name on the screen.
What Crit Roll Stats?
So I like.
I only get like $8, so I have to say it way off more often.
Yeah, I'll split mine with you. 99-1. The stats for this episode are Caleb's first kill was this episode. It's awesome. Got his first kill.
About time.
First death, R.I.P. Frumpkin until he is reconjured. But I'm sure Danny and I were discussing because we've both had Find Familiars in our campaigns, and they're very squishy.
They are.
But they can come back. And depending on how cool or not cool your DM is, you can work out some pretty interesting things.
I think Liam will be a little more lax about squishing his cat than Laura was about squishing her bear.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, seriously. Yep. I think if you get attached to something that has that low of hit points and is sort of just a utility, then maybe you need more friends.
Shouldn't be getting attached to anything that has under 100 hit points at least.
No.
Not long for this earth.
Well, we can do this one of two ways, Taliesin.
I'm easy.
I can ask you all the questions for Marisha up front.
Okay.
And then you can tell me how you think she would have answered.
That can't possibly go poorly.
No. Sure, that's what the folks at home.
That's a great plan.
Yeah. Or I could ask you just the questions that were submitted for you. And then on After Dark, we can draw a badass beard on Marisha's face and Sharpie.
I'm okay with that plan.
All right.
I'm pretty down with that.
Our first question for Taliesin Jaffe, the actor most well known for playing in Mama's Boy
3.
What was the name of the movie? Mama's Boy 3.
Live Free or Die Mama. A Good Day to Mama's Boy. Wait.
A Good Day to Mama's Boy.
Any title can be made better by Die Harding.
Taliesin Jaffe. A Good Day. Okay.
Mama's Boy with a Vengeance.
What was the second one though? Just two.
Mama's Boyer.
It was just Die Hard 2. Oh, it was Die Harder. Oh yeah, Mama's Boy Harder.
Yeah. Mama's Boy. Yeah.
Mama's Boy Harder.
Herder. Mama's Boy Herder. I don't know.
Mama's Boy.
It doesn't always work.
Harder. Okay. Our first question comes from Cyberwolf 1201. When building Molly, did you plan for him to go into this subclass from the beginning, or did you wait until level 3 to choose the archetype that best fit the character you already made?
Yeah, okay, this is going to be. I like that no one else is here, so I don't have to worry about.
They're not watching.
And now I have faith that none of them are watching this.
They're not watching.
I have a strong feeling that none of them are ever going to see this.
Even as much as Matt cares about the brand and retaining and maintaining a consistency of quality across the Critical Role brand,
you can only
that's
do so
still
much.
not enough to watch the show for him.
He's mortal. You forget that.
One of us. Okay, please answer the question.
Oh, God damn it. It was the path I was originally expecting to take. I was open to seeing what the game did. Yeah, me too. I was open to seeing what the game did, but when I originally conceived the character, there was definitely a little bit of that. I wanted to push that kind of ghoulish take on the Blood Hunter. Even after and by the time I had finished the character, I hadn't read the werewolf option that Matt made available until we were already playing, and I had that option available to me, but it just didn't really sit with kind of where he is so not cooked yet. Molly is so not cooked yet, but this was always sort of the direction, but I would have been willing. I thought it would have been fun to have him start playing chemist, which would have been kind of fun, because there's a version of Blood Hunter where you're concocting basically potions that you take that give you various powers and sort of, or change your metabolism in really interesting ways. And that would have been fun for him, but not quite as on point for what I'm hoping to eventually evolve him into.
So would you say, if in that case, that the character himself, rather than what makes up the character, the classes, everything, is more important to you?
I always
who they are versus what they can do.
I always start with the idea of a character and not a class, unless I'm really feeling particularly what's the word I'm looking for? Unless I'm going into a game with a very specific set of ideas of I'm just going to play only 3 games, and this is the technical needs of the game, so we need a healer. I'm going to put a healer in there. But if it's just come up with a guy, I'll just come up with a guy and then sort of look at what could this guy do that's interesting that I haven't really done before. And Blood Hunter was I'd kicked around with making him a warlock. I'd kicked around with making him a bard, but Blood Hunter was new to me.
Yeah.
Which is exciting, and worked very well with kind of I was almost at the point of kind of going up to Matt and being like, I want a guy who kind of does this. Can you just make me a character class from scratch?
Yeah.
Except I felt that would have been a little mean to just be like, make me something new from scratch because I want it.
I would have done it for $200 and submitted out.
But it would have been you for $200, which
Others have been disappointed for less.
You know exactly what just went up my nose. Oh, God.
Listen, Taliesin. Oh, shit. What the fuck's going on Wednesday Club tomorrow night, bro?
Oh,
we missed that during announcements.
Shit, yeah, we're doing Fables. Do you know the book Fables?
Yes.
We're doing...
Who just gasped? Danny did. Danny just...
We're doing
said Fables, and she was like...
top to bottom.
Oh, my goodness.
It's nice because normally I'm all digital, but since I think I have a huge chunk of it in hardcover, so or in soft in the trade, so I'm just pulling them off my shelf right now and taking them into the bath like a proper human.
Any guests or just you,
just
Matt?
Just the three of us.
Just the three of us.
Yeah. I mean, I know guests are an easy way to pop things up. We talk
comics and we cry. Just the three of us.
But
Matt Key smells like something's fried.
I was going to say key lime pie.
Key lime pie.
Yeah. Except that's 2 keys. It doesn't scan well, does it? I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
This is why I'm not in a writer's room.
And then what's going on with Gather Your People?
I don't actually remember what we're doing this Friday. I'm trying to remember now. I think we're maybe doing Gather Our 8-Bit or Gather Our Cyberpunk. I don't remember which one.
Gather Our Froyo, and then they have Froyo catered.
We had ice cream last week because we did our Valentine's Day, so we actually had Halo Top. We had a giant pile of Halo Top ice cream because it's very bingeable. And not just because they employ friends.
I had ice cream Friday night as well with TV's Ashley Johnson. Not to brag. Not to brag.
Your Canadian girlfriend, yeah.
Yeah.
We were aware.
My Canadian family. Oh. Words that rhyme with orang has a question for you, Taliesin. Hope you don't mind answering 2 back to back. How did you feel when no one decided to insight check Molly's story? And are you at all worried that they will start to trust Molly less than they already do?
I am so disappointed that they didn't insight check me.
Why do you think no one did?
Either because, A, they were distracted, which is entirely possible, because that game is really distracting. Yes. That game is more distracting than a normal D&D game. It's hard to think at that table. Or B, they've just decided that I'm either I guess they've either decided that I'm trustworthy or that I'm not. But I would have liked the opportunity to at least confirm or deny that it was bullshit.
Yeah. Although with the way everyone's been rolling lately, who knows what the outcome would have been of that.
Although the social checks have been going really well.
That's true.
It's just the nitty gritty of it.
The attack rolls.
I have plans for that.
You do?
Oh yeah.
Well, don't tell me what they are.
I can't. I'm working on something.
But tell me later.
Oh yeah, I'll show you in private.
I get chills every time you say those words to me. Critical Liz wants to know, this was a question that was submitted for both you and Marisha, so you answer first and then we'll have Marisha.
All right.
Taliesin, did you plan to have your characters dislike each other pre-stream, or did that happen in-game?
Oh no, that happened entirely in-game. I was not expecting that, and it's been a lot of fun. I will say, the last game was the moment I suspect that Molly started enjoying not liking Bo. Like, it's the one thing to not like somebody, but then it's another thing to like really start enjoying not liking somebody.
Yeah.
Where it's actually pleasing. It's almost endearing at this point how much he's irritated by her.
Yeah. Wow. And Marisha, how did you? We'll give you a minute to respond.
Fascinating.
I thought it was real cool.
I don't even know how to do a fake Marisha voice.
My pocket's vibrating. Something bad is happening. Taliesin, moving on. I am known for my voices. I am known for the many voices I do, and I think I do a great Marisha Ray.
You're definitely known for the many voices that you hear.
I'm known for the many voices I hear. Oh, God, if it weren't true. Miss Sunflower 94 has a question for Taliesin, the actor most famous for playing Percival Derulu. I'm not calling you a liar, but do you have a list of your bullshit Molly backstories, or are you making them up on the spot?
Bit of both.
A little bit of both.
I hesitate to say how long the list is, but there's definitely, I've prepared for several emergency scenarios of any one thing like falling apart.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Here, watch.
Yeah.
Watch.
Every now and then I'm driving and I think of another one and I just like put it back on the list of like, oh, here's another option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you better be keeping track because...
Oh, it's even more fun if I don't, though.
Well, that's true, but then if they ask you about something that you lied about and you can't remember what it is, I go through this a lot with my PO.
The only, not that, hopefully he's not watching, the only person who could possibly actually call me on it is Liam, because technically he would be able to remember, so he has the photographic memory.
Yeah.
Anybody else? No.
Liam does have a photographic memory.
Once he had a photographic memory.
Once.
And then he saw too much.
And we had to use the Men in Black thing on him. This is from Artist Someday. Taliesin. God, these questions. All for you.
Yeah, no, it's weird.
How does Molly feel about his new traveling group compared to his old one? Now, I've been told and warned and gotten death threats in my mailbox with rat poison that we are not to spoil too much about the previous campaign for perhaps any new people that just came on for this campaign.
Really?
So that's what I've been told.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, this is all this campaign.
I'm just saying,
yeah.
Compare what you will, just don't let them know that Percival dies in episode 71.
No.
And then doesn't come back.
No.
Because they'll be really pissed.
That would be a terrible thing for someone to like time mark in this video right now and then like leave up with some sort of vicious rickroll.
No.
Don't do that,
No, this will not be clipped. We've disabled clipping. So, how does Molly feel about his new traveling group compared to his old one?
We broke Danny.
Danny's gonna die.
I'm literally dying. I'm sorry.
Do you need some water, Max? Get her some water like a goddamn gentleman. I would get up and do it, but I'm getting paid literally tens of dollars to sit here and ask Taliesin questions. Please answer the question while we put a defibrillator.
Now I feel bad. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, like, this was, I was very, very curious if I was going to be separate. When I created Molly, I was very curious if Matt was going to separate me from the circus or let me envelop everybody into it, if that makes sense. I was like, we would have like a little mobile like a tiny mobile headquarters, which might be a little bit too much of a head start, and I can tell Matt was definitely of the opinion that that's too much. So he spent the first few episodes of the game just smashing my circus to bits.
Now, about the circus though. Did that idea come to you from the years that you spent at the Ren Fair?
From the years I spent at the Ren Fair, and also even before that, just
growing up in a circus.
Well, knowing weirdly a lot of circus performers in town, and knowing friends who come from that lifestyle, and then working the Ren Fair within some of those people, and sort of seeing that lifestyle, and it's very unique and very specific. And then attempting to apply that sensibility to D&D, which I'm a really big fan of, and I'm kind of enjoying trying to see if I can insert that kind of this sort of person into a D&D game. Yeah. He's still forming opinions of everybody in this group. He's not come to he's somebody who makes a lot of snap judgments, which I'm sure in a D&D environment, when you have a big demonic face with a bunch of piercings and tattoos, you can immediately look at someone and immediately make a character assessment of them.
That's true. Yeah.
It's the joy of playing. It's the joy of being a character like that. And I will say, even the joy of as a teenager running around with a mohawk and a trench coat and ridiculousness and sort of being extravagant in any way is that immediately when people meet you, they usually are polite enough to immediately tell you exactly who they are. Yeah. By their reaction and the way that they treat you. There's no attempt at being subtle. There's just this immediately, I'm laying out the table, all of my issues, all of my problems, everything I am as a person, and you can do whatever you like with that. Yeah. And he's a big fan of that as a person. That's one of the reasons why he is so decked out, is because it's such an easy way of immediately assessing people.
Oh, interesting. Put it out there.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, okay, this is somebody who I can manipulate one way, or somebody I can manipulate another way, and everybody so far has been relatively nice. Even the people who don't like him aren't vicious,
hostile necessarily. Yeah,
and so he thinks they're cute so far, and definitely was meditating upon the notion of taking all their shit and vanishing in the night. Yeah, definitely thought about it. Yeah. But so far, just sort of wants to see where the chips fall at this point. He's undecided, and he wants to see how they deal with pressure and how they treat other people. Yeah, which is kind of the big deal at this point.
Yeah. Did you are you shipping anything yet? Like, I shipped that one knoll that was on the top of the thing with the one that was over on the
those
thing,
were some shippable knolls.
I shipped those. Yeah, those are my first ships.
There's a grassy knoll joke in there that I can't quite grasp. I'm trying. I've been trying.
I was the second gunman on the grassy knoll. Think about a grassy knoll joke while I lay up this one into your net. Ugh.
That's
disgusting.
That was awful.
Sports analogies always come out pervy when I say them. I'm_Silian wants to know. Stop. Why are you laughing, Max? I mispronounced it. I went to pronunciation school. What do your characters think? You can answer this yourself because she seems unresponsive. What do your characters think is happening with Figjord after he puked up salt water?
So I haven't watched, nor have I haven't really been on the internet a lot lately, just because life is not allowed for it, and I was trying to avoid spoilers for Black Panther. I genuinely don't know.
Oh God! I made that drink really strong.
You may, yeah. I was watching that happen.
I was distracted.
by the tacos.
There was a giant plate of meat. You know how I am about meat. Anyway, continue.
No, it's. As I take a sip.
Salt water.
I'm not even going to say Molly necessarily cares at all. He was mostly just sort of interested to see everybody else's reaction. That's why he just went up and fucking licked the stuff. He's like, okay, I want to see. He really just wants to watch how everybody else interacts at this point. He's just trying to assess.
You're Maverick playing that first round where he lets everyone beat him, and then.
Wow, you really brought this to Maverick? Really?
Great film.
I feel
Jodie
old
Foster.
now. And Mel and on a riverboat.
Rockford Files. Help me.
Man.
James? John? Who was the older guy?
Oh, I'm trying to remember. but
Rockford Files, man. James
like-
motherfucking
I know.
Chris Lockey. James Garner.
Was it James
dude.
Garner? Oh.
Yes, I said that. Huh? Rockford Files.
I wonder if that movie holds up. It's been so long.
You know what? I saw it on Netflix the other night, but I didn't watch it because I don't know.
You
how
just
to work
acknowledged its
Netflix.
existence and kept moving along. You nodded at it,
yes.
it nodded
I was
back, and you
like-
kept walking.
I was like, I could watch that right now, or I could watch 17 Dresses, my favorite horror movie.
I'm a fan of the sequel.
18 Dresses. Cyberwolf 1201 wants to know, Taliesin, the fuck are you still doing on this show? No, I'm kidding. What was your...
I don't know.
What was your inspiration for Molly's vicious mockery voice? That was terrifying. That woke my dogs up.
Yay! That's literally what I shoot for is specifically waking my dogs up.
Yeah, it worked.
I see. I'm part of me. I kind of gave the game away, but nobody noticed. Or that's not true. Some people noticed and some people didn't. I love spells like Vicious Mockery because they're so adaptable with flair, and you can really find ways of using them in interesting ways for this character. Molly's using it entirely through intimidation. It's an intimidation effect of basically flaring his demonic visage and just sort of.
I can picture
projecting
that
it.
sort of voice coming out of his face would be quite frightening.
So I said something, and not to underline it, but since I did actually give the game away last episode, I might as well just spell it out. He is entirely talking bullshit. Occasionally, if he wasn't sitting next to somebody who actually spoke Infernal, he literally would all the time just be looking at people and going yabba dabba doo in Infernal,
Right.
and just blah, 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 and just and they take damage from fear.
Yeah.
He is just full of wank. There
Wow.
is, so that was just his like wankiest I am the son of Satan. Rah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically my attempt to be, and like that. You just as a voice actor, you just get used to the.
To being full of wonder.
Yeah, just.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing.
Thank you. It's all chest.
Have you done any? Have you done any voices like that? That sound similar and stuff?
Well, yeah. Where have I demonic
Sounds like
before?
an orc almost, or maybe like my aunt Tilda. I have an aunt named Tilda.
I've played some Aunt Tildas. I'm big in that. Yeah, 3x3 eyes. I did some good demonic. That was a little screechier though. Yeah, it comes up every now and then. I'm trying to think of like the last game I did like a big demonic-y thing for.
Yeah. Maybe that Kirby game that came out. Last question, then we're gonna give away some free shit.
Oh,
this
wow.
is from @unconventional. What
Yeah.
a great screen name.
I want to see this.
Taliesin, how terrified are the rest of you knowing Matt might do a one-on-one with you at any time?
Man, I love that shit. Even back at the home game, I love that shit. Take it to the other room was the best shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that there are actual whole sequences of pre-game Critical Role first campaign that there's a whole bit that's just Matt and Travis that none of us will ever know because it was just Matt and Travis in a room, and
Oh, yeah.
neither of them have ever talked about it really. And
Ooh, I wonder what that was.
it was, it was the water nymph.
Oh, yeah.
And but nobody, that's lost to history.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever went down there, we don't
Yeah.
really know.
We don't know.
Nobody knows.
I mean,
except
who
for-
knows what went down in Travis's kick show?
Yeah, Travis and Matt will take that to the grave.
I know a guy who could probably call that could get it out of him.
I'm up for that.
Might be the same guy that you referred me to.
I was about to say, I think I gave you a referral.
Well, let's give away
check
some
LinkedIn.
free shit. LinkedIn. The art and cosplay of these new characters by the community are already blowing everyone away. So much remarkable talent out there. We are very happy to continue giving away fun and sometimes expensive prizes. Some hard to get Critical Role merchandise.
How'd you do that with your eyes?
For our GIF and fan art of the week. Up first, it's GIF of the week.
GIF of the week.
My mom says if I keep doing it, they're going to stay that way.
You can only hope.
Our winner for episode 6 of the new campaign was sent in by Jack Taylor, aka @TheJackTaylor. Let's take a look. Ford Expedition. I didn't hear Matt say, I feel like I passed the stone. That's hilarious. Oh my God. That's great.
Sam, I imagine Sam sits at home slowly going through the Ford catalog or like the Wikipedia page.
You know he's got a notebook he's bringing with him every week full of them. I was a little disappointed to see that at Sam, as being the only one who does watch the show, stole my Beyonce Knowles joke from last week and put it in the show this week. Congrats to you, Jack. You have won this retro Critical Role poster. You can submit. Do we have a picture that's going up? Oh, we do.
Oh.
I forgot how you answered that earlier, Max, when I asked you. To be honest, I've been drinking since 10 a.m. You can submit your gifts for our weekly contest by emailing them to submit
I'm so glad you slept in today.
at talksmachina.com. I wish. I wish. Moving on. Up next. Let's see. Who should I give this one to? Taliesin. Hermit 1992 wants to know. Okay, do you think that's the year they became a hermit, or do you think...
These days, we're at that point where he might have been born in 1992. I'm just learning to accept that just might be true.
That would put that person at 25 years old.
That's perfectly within our demographic.
Perfectly within your demographic.
It doesn't feel good, but it's perfectly within our demographic.
My demographic eats at the hometown buffet about 75 plus.
I was going to anime cons in 92. That does not feel good.
What was I doing in 92? I was skateboarding.
Yeah, you were skateboarding.
Skateboarding and going to jail. What did Matt give you in exchange for letting him keep the golden snitchy?
His eternal gratitude.
There had to have been a better
I got 1 year of his life. I mean, no. I mean, like, here's the thing about luck is that you have to be brazen. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. You can't conserve luck. You can't hoard it.
Yeah.
You have to be like, it don't matter.
Yeah.
This shit don't matter.
Do you peek to see sometimes if he's rolling it?
I honestly don't want to know. It's kind of like an X that way. Like I love it. I'm sure it's great. I right now I just don't want to know what it's doing right now intimately
You don't want to follow
behind a screen.
the X on Instagram?
No, not for the first year minimum.
No, yeah, you wait till...
Later.
Yeah. You wait till they get pregnant.
Wow, that's true with most of them. Yeah, but no, it's that's no. I didn't give him anything for it. He just dared me. He was like, "I'll take it." I'm like, "You can't back down from a dare, and then you're chicken."
I'll take it. He says, "Take all his dwarven forge." Well, I guess then you
I don't have a card big enough to hold all that dwarven forge.
I do.
Should be giant forge at this time.
I have a forge built.
You have a forge expedition that can hold all that.
Yeah, forge expedition.
I'm so sorry. Well, yeah, I deserve that. Sorry.
Hey. Redeem yourself from that last joke with an answer to this question from Vohalika. This is for both of you. You went from Baselicky being attached at the hip to different sides of the table. Do you miss sitting next to each other? How are the new neighbors working out as replacement cuddle buddies?
Nobody.
You guys were.
Yeah, well, nobody's as like. Marisha and I have gotten where we are old enough friends that we are at that like cuddle point. And I'd be doing that with Matt too if I were sitting next to him, although that would be especially weird on this show.
Yeah.
I miss having Marisha right there. Definitely also because we are beyond even cuddle buddies. There's the private snark.
Yes.
And Laura and I are only just beginning the private snark. It is just blossoming.
Yeah, but that's nice. You get a whole new season of Private
I can
Snark
reuse
with
the old
someone
jokes, and now they're brand new, which is really nice.
Private Snark was the name of a pilot I tried to sell to NBC.
There's a joke in there. Damn it. I was
mine.
almost there.
Not mine.
Yeah. I had something and then it vanished from me.
Taliesin. Give Legendary my 2 weeks with an answer to this question. From Rained Keys. Is there a reason why Molly Mock paid the guard the silver instead of letting Caleb give him copper? Does he have a sense of moral decency?
Deeply. He is one of the most moral characters I've ever played.
So that's a big contrast from last season.
Yeah, he is the exact opposite of Percy.
So what's the opposite of a teenage asshole? A grown-up...
Not even a grown-up, an old... That's not the opposite.
Danny just said I quit. Speaking of
you're not getting 2 weeks there. Yeah, no, he's got a very, very serious code that he lives by.
So without giving away anything that you're not comfortable giving away,
Sure.
What would be some of his strong morals? What are some of the values that make him who he
you
is?
pay for things unless, and well,
In respect,
some
in
people-
respect to you reap what you sow, or you pay for things, meaning you don't steal things, you pay for things.
you don't steal from people who can't afford it. And there's a fairness to the universe, and you should abide by it.
Yeah.
And if something isn't fair, you should correct it. And if you take money from someone, you do what you took the money for, unless you take money from someone who shouldn't or is asking you to do something you shouldn't do. It's a little sketchy. Like, it's not like a fine
understand,
moral
yeah.
code, but it's definitely the like you don't fuck with good people.
Yeah. Do you find yourself somewhere between Percy and Molly in real life?
That's hot. No.
I didn't mean like
Boom.
I didn't mean like in a hotel room at the chateau. Although I might have.
I was thinking more of the suite at the Standard, but fine.
The Standard, the lights are too bright.
Man, you have not been to the parties at the Standard that I've been to. There's a
well,
little
they
bit you
don't
can-
let me off on that floor on the
Who just
elevator.
puts a bathtub in the middle of the room? I mean, like, you're gonna abuse that kind of shit.
Oh man.
Man, there's like maybe 2 people watching going like, I remember that party. Yeah.
Who were the 2 of them? Because it's
High
not
res.
me. Is it Matt Key and
Matt Key does not. No.
Gary
no.
Busey?
Oh, Gary Busey might. I have a Gary Busey story, but
I
not
have
for
a
here.
Gary Busey story.
Malibu's a strange place, man. Shit
I
goes
ran
down.
into him in Santa Monica. Troy Baker was playing in a band with his son Jake
Yeah.
Busey, and he came to one of the shows, and he had a Hawaiian shirt on and a sombrero.
He was just dressed in white. It was very strange. When I
He's
met him
so
at
weird. He's fucking so weird. He's a super
into
nice
it.
guy, but
It was so nice, but I was like, he was definitely on another planet.
he goes from here to Rocket Man really fast.
I was into it,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
I could deal with more of it.
He tried to walk into the bar with a cigar, and the guy's like, "You can't do it." And he gave him this look like,
Can't I?
"I'm Gary Busey, bro. I'm going in this bar with a cigar." And the guy
I
was
trying
like,
to
"No,
remember
you
this
can't."
event.
Well, let's
Yeah, no, I don't really exist in the middle necessarily. I would say that I'm more like Molly than I am like Percy. I'm not. The part of me that acknowledges my deep entitlement is probably a bit like Percy, but the part of me that has enjoyed.
What do you mean acknowledges your deep entitlement?
I have had a ridiculous life. My life doesn't make any goddamn sense. I've
Well,
gotten to
no.
do some insane shit. Some of it just based off of the family I was born into. Some of it based off of luck. Some of it just based off of where I was and what I was doing. And then I've also had the opportunity to do some insane shit on the other end of things, of like travel and work, work with the Renaissance fairs and not just live in a tent for deeply extended period of time, and
Got to work with Michael Keaton.
not in a tent, but yeah.
Do you know Michael Keaton's real name?
I don't
Michael
actually.
Douglas.
Is that? Oh wow, that explains everything
Explains everything.
right there. No,
Doesn't explain Batman Forever.
I don't think I've seen him since filming the movie.
I haven't seen him.
Have you? I don't.
I
can't
wish.
tell. No, I ran into Martin Mull once, but I never ran into.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Keaton.
Martin
yeah.
Mull's great.
He is. He's really great. He's a fine art painter now.
He's an underrated comedic actor, I would say.
deeply.
Yeah, my opinion. All right, let's move on.
I'll love to talk about old comedians.
Eddie Izzard's the best, though. Taliesin, was there any point back in Trostenwald where you felt like Molly would refuse to join the group? For example, after Jester and Bo traumatized Toya with Kylie's head.
I don't think he traumatized her. I think we were just. I mean, like, she's gonna be fine. Circus people are gonna be fine.
Yeah.
It was definitely. He's not one to say no very often. Like, it takes. He needs a good reason to say no to something. He's a when in doubt say yes
Yeah.
person, and his whole life literally exploded in front of him. So there was just another. His choices were move in a direction or don't move at all, and when given that choice, he is a always move in a direction person.
Okay.
Better to be moving at high speed towards a wall than be standing still.
That's a really good quote.
Yeah,
I hope to read that on Tumblr later.
You will. Thank you, Tumblr.
Thank you, Tumblr.
No, I mean, like, he's always moving in a direction and always in pursuit of something different. And that town was bullshit.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
Frostenwald?
There was nothing for him there.
It's a weird name, too. I don't like it. I like Wildemount much better. Promise Nothing wants to know,
Good name.
do you have any theories as to what the Knolls are really doing with all those bodies and the heart ritual, or if they're planning something bigger than was originally thought?
Nope.
No idea.
And not really. He's not a thinker. So he's not really thinking about it. He's seeing more money than he's seen in a very long time, other than like some bullshit that he's pulled in his past.
Yeah.
Like other than some scams, this is the most money he's seen in a long time.
Weird. Okay. Looking
there's
forward
gonna
to
be some
learning more
scams.
about that. Luke Suarez Music says, Taliesin, what pushed you to reveal more of Molly's backstory?
I haven't revealed any of Molly's backstory.
It's all bullshit.
Is it?
This is like the Ford Fjord Fedora conversation.
Fedora. Yeah.
Okay.
I will say Molly's backstory is deeply unimportant to who he is on every level.
Really?
Yeah. He's entirely defined by his actions.
Okay. I really like that because I tend to sometimes write characters that don't have something easy you can point in their life. You can point out in their life and say, that's the reason why they got fucked up and became the way they were.
Sure.
So oftentimes, a lot of my characters will have parents that are still around. You know, we always joke about D&D is like...
Parents is an easy one.
Parents is the easy one. But there's all those elements, so I try to make it so that their actions are their actions. You know, like, you can't look at these other things, oh, but he had the thing, and he had the... You know, it's like...
Your Officer Kromke, yeah, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
wank.
Yeah.
It's I mean, like, and like you not to let the audience in on more than they care to know, but you've known a lot of disreputable people in your life.
Yeah.
And there was always in that group of disreputable people, there were always a few people who were really charming, really nice, and somehow managed to just dance on the head of the fucking pin and keep doing this stupid, shitty shit, but like never get called on it.
Yeah.
And never get any of that grime on themselves, and
Yeah.
were just always just like this weird center that almost made the whole thing seem like it was possible to keep up with that bullshit.
Yeah. Yes.
And were just unaffected by whatever bullshit was rolling around them. That's I mean, like, I think that every group of real fuck ups has a couple people like that who are just thriving in that environment.
Yeah. And oftentimes the chaos of that environment is the only way they know how to live.
What would they?
And
I mean, like, they would.
normalcy would never. You know, we talk a lot about it, some of the guys I work with. We talk about someone's civilizing aspect, right? If my mother were here tonight watching the show live, which she never would be, but if she was here, I wouldn't swear because my mom is this quaint Irish woman who doesn't swear, and I would feel weird swearing in front of her. So in that case, for this hour, that she would be my civilizing aspect, the aspect that civilizes me in a way and makes me, you know, put on something else, not a falsehood, but out of respect, you know. And so I'm curious to know what Molly's civilizing aspect is.
I don't think he has one. I think he is Hunter S. fucking Thompson.
Does he have his own conscience, or is it life is short? Is it, you know, is he going life is short, fuck it, or is he going like I keep myself on a short leash?
Life? I don't want to say life is short, fuck it, but life is what's the They Might Be Giants song? Everything we know withers and dies, and that's
I only
beautiful.
listen to bluegrass. I wouldn't really.
Fuck you son of a.
Right, wrong again.
Yeah.
Chris Lockey, our resident pop culture.
Google, I don't listen to that shit.
Oh, I love it.
Everyone lives a life frustrated and dies, and that is beautiful. And like, yeah, he's into it.
Yeah.
He is absolutely into it. Life is short. Get drunk.
We might. Yeah, well, we made that mistake. We might have covered this, but I want to see if there's anything else to add. This is from I'm_Celian. Molly initially seemed to display a charlatan asshole personality, but all his interactions with the carnival people showed a sincerely caring person underneath. Does he have a reason for hiding underneath this asshole exterior other than it being fun?
There are people who they express their understanding of the world. There are people who express love and affection through cruelty. I know that sounds a little contradictory, but like...
No, it's true.
Again, I spent several years playing a really, really nice guy who, if you knew, would probably ruin your life.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna spend a few years with a kind of shitty person who's fucking got your back.
Yeah. I mean, assuming you live that long.
Yeah. Assuming I don't die by level 5.
You're
I mean, like and especially if you're living in a tent or traveling with a bunch of people, is that you. Oh God, do you watch Black Mirror?
Yeah, hell yeah.
The one where the
Yes,
woman's
I hate
trying to
that
get the points so that she can get into the house, and at the very end, she's just in jail with the guy, and they're just swearing at each other.
Yeah.
And both of them, like, it's the most intimate.
I know.
I'm like, and like that, there's an intimacy to being knowing that you can just not try and be nice.
Mm-hmm. I love that episode.
Yeah.
I just say I hate it because
It hurts. It's not pleasant.
so bad.
That show is not pleasant, but it feels.
But it hurts because it rings true.
It's like a Thai massage for the soul. It's just like, oh God, motherfucker.
Okay, one more, and then we're gonna give away some more free shit.
Hell yeah.
In an earlier talks, you confirmed that your characters essentially hated each other at first sight.
Yep.
Has your characters' opinion of each other improved any? Talking about you and Marisha's. If yes, any specific moments that caused said shift in opinion?
He is enjoying her brazen attitude towards danger, but he still feels that she is kind of a bit of a privileged fuck, and hasn't decided yet if she comes from too much money to be a civilized human being.
Yeah.
If he decides that she's from too much money, he's gonna just be really irritated at her.
Yeah, as we are when we find out someone has a bunch of money.
Well, I mean, like, Percy was a bit classist, so I'll definitely say
that's true.
Molly's a little classist too.
Yeah.
He thinks that he's definitely of the opinion that people with too much money are like, why are you doing all that?
Yeah.
Doing anything of value? You don't need that shit.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Spend it.
Buy some cool art.
Why am I going to pay a copper for something that's obviously worth more? I'm giving you the fucking money for this thing.
Yeah.
Don't give me a goddamn discount. What the hell? You got people to feed, motherfucker.
I understand that. I tell that to my rich neighbors all the time. I get no response. This question
Stare blankly.
This question comes from If I Only Had a Goat. Is Molly aware of the new glow that comes with his sword, i.e. glowing when being activated, or is he confused about his newfound power?
He had a mild nervous breakdown after that fight.
Yeah.
And it wasn't necessarily from the violence.
Oh, interesting.
Everyone was definitely like, oh, was he freaked? No, he's killed some people before. That's not a problem. Some folks need killing.
Right.
Maybe, but he was definitely needed a drink.
Yeah. Interesting. Get busy killing or get busy dying?
Get busy.
Get busy.
Just get busy.
Get busy. Isn't that what Matthew McConaughey says? Just keep getting busy.
Just keep getting busy, man.
Well, let's give away some more free shit, shall we?
Is this fan art? Fan art of the week?
Don't spoil it,
Do I have to spoil it? Is that a spoiler?
Oh my God.
Fuck.
People have no idea what was about to happen until you said
Did I just give away Act 3 of Black Panther?
Machina?
Fuck, man.
Our next giveaway is for you fans that create and send in incredible art from moments during Critical Role.
T'Challa.
It's time for fan art of the week.
T'Challa.
This week's fan art winner was sent in by Jonah Bauman, aka @GalacticJonah. Let's take a look.
Whoa.
How about that?
Whoa.
How about that?
That's some like Dark Crystal level shit right
look
there.
at the ears. The ears are so
Oh,
cool.
you can see the light passing through them. Hot. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
That's pretty epic.
She's adorable. That's like Henson. That's like
it's
Henson.
really
knot.
good. We just he also submitted another great one of you.
I apologize
But
about
I
the
feel
coat.
like it was a little too on the nose.
No, I'm
Having you
going to
here,
say
I'm
at some point I'm going to release some art of him not wearing the coat so that people have don't feel threatened by the code.
Oh boy, yeah.
I feel bad.
You
I
created
feel like
a
I feel like
monster.
I did something terrible. So
You created a monster.
I may even just like put out the sketch. I know it's not. I don't have finished art, but I'm just have like a little sketch of what his costume without the coat looks like, just so that people.
At least make Tess happy.
Poor Tess. So we ruin her slowly. God.
Hey, thank you to everyone who submitted. Congrats to you, Galactic Jonah. You have won this. Yes?
Ooh.
You have won this.
Not that.
Bolivian Rosewood Adventure Arsenal from our friends at Wormwood Gaming. Now, for those of you unfamiliar, this is a dope tray that you can roll your dice in. I roll like this. I don't know how you guys roll. I'm
Not
usually
like that, man.
And also comes with it this guy, which is magnetized, and inside it has dice
And a pen.
and a pen.
Also made
A
it.
really cool pen that's made of wormwood as well. And the dice is really good. And they magnetize closed. And then it comes with the Jock's Machina strap, which is just a wormwood strap. But we call it the Jock's Machina strap. Isn't that
For
cool?
reasons.
That's the Adventurers kit from Wormwood Gaming, guys.
Those are pretty cool.
Also, as an honorable mention this week for a prize that is both a GIF and fan art,
Oh no, I saw this. I've been offline, but I saw this.
take a look
Oh,
at this,
shit.
my friends.
Bring it.
This is insane.
This is.
I watched this 50 times probably, just trying to figure out how. How does one do this?
Oh.
We should have done a spoiler
Art school, man.
alert.
Art school.
This is a big spoiler,
Oh.
guys. You're seeing what all those other characters looked like. Oh boy. TBZ! Wow. Look at that. What? What? How much time did that take? Do we know how much time it took her to do that?
I bet it took less time than actually watching the entire
My
season.
God. Well, yeah. Our big thanks to Camille
Wow.
Areopagita, a.k.a. Cammy, a.k.a. at Carriero, a.k.a. the Ghostface
Karikaro.
Killer, for sending that epicness in. You have won this Padoc
Karikaro.
Adventurer's Arsenal from our friends at Wormwood Gaming. Now, this is the same one that we showed earlier. It's just my wood is a little redder now.
That was really good.
Still shiny,
Still hard.
still full of dice. Still protected by Jock's Machina
Strap.
strap. All right, let's move on.
That got too weird too quickly.
Dude, it's you and I on
I
the
know.
show
I was
alone.
like, this is.
This is
have
actually
you ever had an
mild.
episode with just one of us? I think that I might be the first.
Max? No, we've never done a
No.
one-on-one. Just a fireside chat with Matt.
Yeah. This is weird.
I like it.
I like it. This is pretty
I kind of
cool.
don't think we need the others next week.
I don't think we ever need the others.
No.
Let's just do this from I'll go hang with some friends in Malibu. We can all just bring the whole show down there.
I
and
am
sit on the
so
beach.
down. I
Like
am
so much
so down.
Lebowski.
Bring those bonbons I like.
Ah, man.
Okay, let's see what we have time for.
Bring it.
Jack Rupert, how does the start of this campaign compare to the start of the first campaign at home? Does it feel more comfortable now that you have established these incredible friendships and know everyone better than when you started the first campaign?
Nope.
Yeah, because even though that part of it is there,
That part is always
all
easy.
of the D&D shit and the unsureness of a character has to kind of be there, even though the friendships are even more developed.
It would be untruthful of me to not say that there is not a certain aspect of kabuki performance to some of this and being aware of
Can
it's
we
not
say kabuki?
kabuki.
Okay, we can say
Yeah, we can say kabuki. There is
I know. You never know these days.
I mean, like once we get into it, it's still just us around a table, and you know, when we're alone together, it's still just us alone together. But there's a certain amount of tomfoolery which is no longer available, but it's been replaced by other forms of tomfoolery.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a very different vibe than a home game, but I love it. This is the whole notion of playing a game this way is so fascinating to me, and it's completely changed the way I look at the game on every level. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a completely different thing than like sitting around with a bunch of friends, especially a bunch of friends who don't know how to play.
Yeah.
I thought it was nice that everyone's now like staring at their characters going, I don't know how any of this works anymore. That's quite pleasing.
I know. It is funny.
Fun.
And seeing like an enemy that has 7 hit points could take it.
Man, I feel so useless. I'm trying to get my shit together.
Taliesin Co-Bacon wants to know, what do you think of the stick of dynamite? Do you think it's our first reveal from Matt about what guns have been brought to the world, or just something that already existed?
I don't know. I actually hadn't thought about it. That's interesting. That hadn't occurred to me.
Yeah.
I know that we're going to come across them at some point, just because there has to be some repercussion from that. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting also because I, as a player, am going to feel a certain amount of ownership of that. But Molly don't give a fuck.
Yeah. This is interesting from John Huggett. Hug it or leave it. Don't laugh at that. Even that, I have to go home.
It was a chortle.
I have to go home and give myself what's the Blood Hunter ability you're looking forward to the most, knowing Matt's DM method and favorite creatures?
Actually, I'm looking forward to getting my next blood right of there's this things where like I can I'm giving like a list of interesting powers that I can take, and while I love the one I currently have, I'm actually thinking that maybe I made a weird call with taking it. I may actually end up switching it up for something else if I can.
Yeah.
But I want to talk to him about shifting maybe to a couple different blood rights, because I'm still sort of figuring out how these like blood rights work. I don't want to give away too much, but I'm definitely trying to find the most character appropriate things that he might have just sort of figured out how to do. Working out his powers and how they function.
Yeah.
Wow, this is strong. What was I thinking?
I have no idea, but I definitely think we should not have taken all that mescaline before that.
It was just going to go bad.
They were mescaline ice cubes. As he puts one in his mouth. That's not what they are, kids. Who do you think is the most morally ambiguous character in the party so far? I'm asking Taliesin, not Molly.
Yeah, Molly don't care.
Because Molly doesn't care.
Who's the most morally ambiguous character?
Who seems like who seems the most mysterious? I'll say who seems the most mysterious to you right now?
Jester. Because Jester's too easy.
Too happy, too sort of like... There's got to be something
She's kind
else.
of pulling the same act that I'm pulling, and I don't trust my act, so I don't trust hers. I kind of have a handle on everybody else, I feel like, so far.
Yeah, under the table or?
Always.
Okay.
We each have buttons to give each other electric shocks as the night goes on.
That's why Travis's leg twitches all the time.
I have the twitchy leg. I keep thinking that because I've got the.
I found myself doing that at D&D because it gets really intense. I have a game tomorrow night, actually.
Oh, you're playing tomorrow night?
Playing tomorrow night. I think we're going to be about level 6 after this one, hopefully.
It's where the magic begins to happen.
You guys are going to catch up to us so much faster because you play every week.
We
play every once a month.
You play like normal humans, whereas we play like people who are, performative. Yeah, like I there's part of me that kind of misses the once a month game, but at the same time, it is so much easier to remember what the hell is going on when it happens every 7 days.
That's true. We take extensive notes because otherwise, sometimes
you're lost.
Sometimes it'll be 2 months go by without a game, and I can't remember what the fuck happened.
We've tried recording games, and sometimes that helps, but it's hard to. It's hard to grasp. And even like my DM friends, I'm like, how do you keep this all in your heads? And you're like, fuck up sometimes and hope nobody notices.
What I hate is how little notes Matt will have sometimes. When
I
I'll
know,
go
it's
back
just
there during the
hateful.
break on Thursday nights, and I'm like, did he take all of his stuff into the bathroom? And they go,
No, it's like The Shining. It's just all work and no play. Make Matt a bellboy of like 20 pages.
speaking of all work and no play, what happened to that crappy ass podcast?
That was like from the 80s.
Are they still
wasn't
going to
it?
do it? I feel like it was, back when Reagan was president.
They'll it's like a Bond film. I'm sure they'll make another one someday.
We just don't care about it.
Just don't care.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight, folks. Stick around. Should we do the fucking After Dark? Stick around for Talks Machina After Dark on Alpha.
I may change my shirt.
You gonna change your shirt for
I'm
it?
debating it. Probably not, but I could.
I might change my pants,
You probably should.
even though I didn't bring a change of pants. I would like to thank my guest, Tailspin Jafar. Yes. And, oh man, Mariska Heart away.
No,
Marisha.
hopefully she'll feel better. Sit. Come on.
Cough Risha.
Hey.
Hey. We love you, Marisha. She's not watching this.
She's not watching this.
text her.
She's playing Monster Hunter.
Critical Role Campaign 2, Episode 7 airs this Thursday night.
3 more episodes to get my accent down before it's a problem.
I made a joke last week on the show at your expense. I hope you don't mind.
No, I never
said,
do.
this question's for everyone. I made it up, but I said, how many episodes do you think until Taliesin decides if he's using an Irish accent or not or something to
20,
that effect?
30.
20? Yeah.
No, I hope to have it down by 10.
You just got back from Ireland.
Yeah.
The day before the campaign started.
I got back from Dublin realizing I wasn't going to do a Dublin accent because that accent's fucking impossible.
What did you want to do? Something further north?
I went further north.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Dublin accent, I was like, fuck no.
My family
That's bullshit.
comes from
It's too goddamn hard.
County Kerry, and I need a translator.
Oh yeah, no,
they're-
that one's
Pretty.
that one's
It's
thick.
gorgeous though, especially.
It is. It's great.
Yeah.
But I also found one that uses shit instead of shite. So
Shite.
Shit's easier.
Shit's easier. Hashtag shit's easier. Thursday nights. with
remember these
Critical
things.
Role. Well, we'll see you guys in a couple of days. Until then, as always, please, please, please don't forget to love each other. And don't worry, it's almost Thursday.
It's almost Thursday.
Thursday. Same show, same dudes, same missing lady. That's it. That's After Dark tonight, gang. Hey, girl, hey. Got to cover up your face so you don't see what happens on After Dark.
I don't want her to see our shame.
NSFM. Not safe for Marisha.
Not safe for Marisha.
Taliesin Dervish is going to kick things off. We take questions from the Alpha Chat during After
Hi,
Dark.
Alpha Chat. It's a pleasure
Hi,
to
Alpha
see you.
Chat. Do you think Matt will be able to have a private arc for Molly Mock that's as intense as Briarwood was? Ooh, that's a big...
I don't think well, again, like I've given Matt some stuff to work with, and whatever he does with it, he's going to do with it. And I've given him a similar. I've given Matt kind of the same tool, the toy box version of the toy box. It's got different toys in it, but I handed it to him and like, do with this as you will.
Yeah.
Same way I did with Whitestone, where I'm like, do with this as you will, whatever you want to do. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to be the. I think he may decide I had the dark arc and might hand it to somebody else. I don't know.
Ooh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so maybe you'll get a different arc that will be just as epic, but perhaps not as dark and crazy. Yeah, because it has to fit the character though, and the Briarwoods made sense for Percy and for his whole thing. So
Yeah,
maybe you get an arc where it's like Candyland.
It might be a Candyland. I mean, I'd be down for that. And they're not similar people. And Molly is not a tortured soul. Molly is not in the midst of a nervous breakdown. He had his nervous breakdown. It's fucking over, and he's fine.
Yeah, he's clear now.
Yeah, wow, that was
thing.
an LA joke.
Talks Machina.
That was such a fucking LA joke.
This is the next
Fuck
shirt.
you.
I talked to Laura about it. She hasn't returned my call. But the next shirt I was thinking could be Talks Machina. It's not about Scientology until it is.
I told you my poor dad what I did to my poor dad.
What?
Just to go
You
way
did
off
tell
topic.
me you punched your dad over something one time.
Well, we got into a fight once. I didn't quite punch him, but we did
I
get into a
forgot
fight.
what it was, but I have a notes tab in my phone where I write down quotes that my friends have said out of context, and I just have Taliesin, I punched my dad over that.
I may have thrown something. We got into a big fight over a thing. That's the story.
Yeah.
Boy. No, I was mad at him for something. I don't remember what, and I went down to the Scientology center
Yeah.
and took all their tests and then gave them his name and address.
Oh,
I was like
my
really into
God.
it.
You're like,
And I think to this day he may still be on their mailing. Like he's moved to several states and is still on their mailing list.
David Miscavige shows up to his house. Dude, you haven't responded to any
It
of
was
the
the
pamphlets.
meanest thing. It was like one of the meanest things I've ever done to somebody.
That's
It's like signing them up
hilarious.
for Scientology. Sorry, Dad, if you're watching.
Oh, that's great.
I love
Sorry.
you.
Sorry, Talison's dad, if you're
You
watching.
did the best you could.
CD88 has a question for the underrated host of After Dark. Brian, this week's episode was especially punny. What was your favorite pun of the night? Maybe the one Sam stole, or I did like the Fjord Expedition or Fjord Escape. That was very
That
funny.
was fine.
Trying to remember what the other ones were. Didn't Marisha have a good one? I guess we could have
She
fucking
did.
asked
She actually
her.
she broke Sam, which is hard to do.
What did she say?
Yeah, Canary in an Old Mine.
That's it. Thank you, Courtney.
It is hard to break Sam. We consider that a badge of honor.
That's going to be on Critical Recap this week. Guys, watch
Yeah.
Critical Recap during Mothership.
Canary in an Old Mine broke Sam. That was beautiful.
Yes, that was wonderful.
Fuck, man.
Oh my God, speaking of Danny Carr, Critical Effect has a question. Brian, does Danny deserve all or just most of the credit for your success? Okay, I will say seriously though, when we started talks, I did 100% of the show as far as all the prep and doing everything behind the scenes for the first, not everything behind the scenes, but, as far as the content of the show went, for the first, 10 episodes or something. And then by the grace of Sarah and Ray, Max and Danny joined us. And I will say, specifically, Danny has been completely I'll get to Max in a second. They didn't ask about Max. I don't have any obligation to answer about Max. Danny's invaluable.
Your eyes are less puffy.
When
these
we
days.
found out today that Marisha wasn't going to be on the show, Ash was like, why don't you guys just come up with 10 of the hardest Critical Role trivia questions you can and then just try to stump Danny? I'm like,
could be pretty
oh,
funny.
that could be a fun segment to do, because she's like the encyclopedia of awesomeness.
the unbreakable Danny Carr.
And she works on a lot of other shows besides just this shitty old. She also works on Kevin's fourth night at the Apollo.
Yeah.
That's a great
Get
show.
Kevin to the Greek.
Get Kevin.
Anytime I can make you laugh, I feel like I've accomplished something.
Yeah.
That pleases me.
This is from Azazel is Awesome. Taliesin, do you think any of the characters have altruistic reasons for taking on the Knolls, or are all of them focused on the money?
Can't it be both? I think at this point it's all for the money, just because when you're trying to figure out where your next meal is going to come from, there's nothing that isn't altruistic about figuring out how to put that food in your face.
Yeah.
It's fine. Found a way to do good and feed ourselves. That's great.
Yeah. And
It can be both.
and get some battle experience.
Yeah, I'm sure Fjord is in that direction. Or whatever the hell's going on with that kid. I don't know.
He might be the most mysterious to me.
He is ruddy mysterious.
Yeah.
He is very ruddy.
Travis is an incredibly smart, tactical person, and so as much as he likes to joke about things not being very thought out, or some things maybe aren't as thought out as, he does tend to give it a lot of really good, thorough. He thinks things through a lot.
He does,
really, yeah.
and it's very helpful, and it's lovely, and it's great to have someone who thinks things through, and it's also great to have a few people who are really good at being reactionary, because all
Yeah.
plans contacted with the enemy.
Yep. Out the window.
No plan survives contact.
Akiya Masama wants to know, as Vox Machina has made a cameo in Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, who do you think is Annie Mae's favorite character?
Oh, I think she's a Keyleth fan.
You're about to say Keyleth?
She's a Keyleth fan. I think she digs the sweet moralism. Oh God, Molly's going to be the Keyleth of this show at some point. I just suddenly realized that. That's so weird.
I was thinking during the previous show that we just finished recording. I was thinking that very thing.
Stop teasing the audience. It's mean.
Phoenix Goth wants to know, how did Molly get the horn piercings?
With a drill, man. There was a hand crank drill. They got a guy who can just get it on and then like puts the thing through, and then they have like a little tube and they wire everything up, and then they seal it with epoxy so it doesn't get infected, man.
You get it done at Claire's in the mall? Or?
I mean, Claire's is inexpensive and really they've got their insurance taken care of.
Yeah.
You don't need to see some biker for that shit. It's not like a tattoo.
They sanitize every third person.
Yeah, you just got to see who's in front of you in line. You're good to go.
I know.
I love horn piercings. I'm like, if I had horns, I'd have them pierced all the time. That's great. There's no nerve endings in there.
I probably would too, just because you could hang your keys on it.
Yeah.
You could do a lot of weird shit.
Or you could do you could
I would have pasties on the end of mine.
Pasties on your velvet, because this is what they call it. It's like, it's got the velvet coating on that stuff too. That's great.
Black velvet in that little boy's smile. Okay. Taliesin, this is from Silent Music.
Hello, Silent Music.
What are your thoughts on the current trailers for Pixar's Incredible 2 and the comparisons being made to the plot of Mr. Mom? I have not looked into this.
Okay, so I'm not like super, there's layers of busy. I haven't actually seen the trailer for Incredibles 2.
I haven't either. In fact, this is the first I'm hearing of it.
And I did not know that there was a comparison to Mr. Mom. That's exciting.
Silent Music, sadly we need more information in order to answer your question properly.
Yeah, you would not believe like how far behind on every major pop culture event I am. I still haven't seen the last Star Wars movie.
You haven't seen The Last Jedi?
I haven't had time.
It's
I heard I'm going to enjoy it.
You're going to enjoy it.
I heard I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah. If you have to go to the bathroom for like 30 minutes kind of in the middle of the movie, that's okay.
It's a Star Wars movie is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Goblin King wants to know, for both of us, how's the date going? I say it's okay.
I don't know if there's going to be a second one at this point, but I'm definitely feeling some chemistry.
Yeah, I'm feeling some chemistry too. It could just be the Klonopin.
It could. I mean, there was a lot.
There was a lot. They put them where they normally put all the... Oh, look.
Nope, it's over there.
Touch my hand.
None of this is working.
That's what she said. Taliesin. Nimeni wants to know, Molly seems to be very sure/trusting that Yasha is going to return every now and then. Is there an in-game reason for this?
Yes.
Yes. I will say that, I'm going to answer this. I mean, because you can't really say, really. Mm-hmm. What do you know? When you guys were doing the home game long before Blind Spot, when Blind Spot came along, we were not sure if it was going to shoot in New York and LA until, I believe it was the day before she left to go shoot the pilot. And so then it was like, shoot the pilot, miss the first episode of Critical Role stream because she was in New York shooting the pilot, and then came back, waited to see if it was going to get picked up, and then it got picked up, and it was like, gotta go. So all that being said, because you guys have been playing for so long already versus just starting a new campaign on the stream or whatever after she left, her and Matt worked out some ways to make it work within the story, for her to have, come in and out should Blind Spot get renewed for another season next year, which we're all hoping happens. I mean, it's a great show.
No,
there are countless numbers of reasons why it should continue. I personally besides just Ashley's acting on the show, find it to be great. But they have a thing worked out to where they can make the transition a little easier than some of the times were in the previous campaign, because it was sort of like
sure, and like
yeah.
it was all part of the conversation, and it works for that kind of environment and those kind of people that you're used to separating and then coming back together later. It's natural in those kind of groups. It's similar to like convention friends. Is like anybody who goes to like a comic book convention, you have people that you only see once a year for 3 days, but you're perfectly close and you know exactly how each other are doing. Although maybe the internet's changed that, but that was how it was when I was young. I don't know.
And our home game, Bobby Logic, is on the road a lot and travels and does important stuff. But so we, if he just ends up getting too drunk and then we knock him out and we leave him somewhere, and then we go back again, and that's how we worked out in our game.
That's a good system. I'm a big fan of that system.
You gotta we're gonna hide him in this barrel like until we have time for a few more.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever.
Wolfman91 wants to know. Brian Tallison, come on guys, we know Marisha is actually in jail right now, like when all of her characters get arrested. What's she in for?
Actually, the difference between game Marisha and real Marisha is real Marisha doesn't get caught.
Oh, that's true.
Ever.
She is.
It's weird.
Very smart.
If you've ever read the comic book 100 Bullets.
She can fit through tiny spaces.
No, she's like if she can get her head through, the rest of her will fit. It's true.
It's like a rat.
Yeah.
So they compress their bones into. T-Boyce wants to know. Do you know who T-Boyce is?
T-Boyce?
He submits a lot of questions. He's got a boyish smile. When Molly said syphilis was a tiefling thing, did you mean that it originated with tieflings? Or is it spread by tieflings? What is the history of syphilis in Exandria? Well, obviously, T-Boyce, you need to see your doctor.
I think the joke he was making over there, and I think he and Jester both were like, they were of the opinion that perhaps they're the only two people in this group that have ever gotten laid, because the rest of them are so uptight. And we're just like, yeah, no, you guys obviously have not had the sex yet.
Not had the sex.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, this is no good.
Yeah, we're of the opinion. I think Jester would agree. We haven't had the talk yet, but anyway.
The talk. The birds and the bees.
Yeah.
Tedish has a really interesting question.
Ooh.
Would you rather be punched in the face by Travis Willingham or interrogated by Marisha Ray?
I have been interrogated by Marisha Ray.
I've been punched in the face by Travis Willingham.
I feel like that kind of.
I would rather be punched in the face by Travis Willingham.
You know, I'd rather be interrogated by Marisha. She already knows all my fucking secrets at this point anyway.
Travis hits hard. The problem is he's so big, you see it coming.
Yeah.
So you're able to kind of like matrix it away a little bit. You know, he has a 93-inch reach. So he'll get you wherever.
And Marisha knows enough about like my mom that like when she like tells me shitty shit about my mother to make me feel bad, it's all true. So it makes it worse.
Yeah.
So there's that.
That's just personal.
I know.
That's just a dig.
It's so fucked up.
We have to wrap up pretty soon because there's another show coming up after us. But Gray Angel wants to know, Tallison, can we have a piece of goth advice, please?
What kind of goth advice? Like any kind of goth advice?
Since they didn't specify, I'm going to say literature.
Oh.
Goth literature that Gray Angel should get immediately. What's that book I got you for Christmas? But what was that guy's name?
Oh God, fuck.
The twisted shit that I found at the Creature Shop.
Oh shit, oh God, this is breaking my brain.
I can't remember.
I was even just gonna go for a movie because I can't even think of a book right now.
Go for a movie. The Crow, City of Angels.
No, we're doing better than this shit. No. Let's give them something. Let's Harold and Maude, motherfucker.
Oh, let's just
be
talking about Harold and Maude. Harold and
the
Maude
original goth film.
Obviously has some
adult
themes and some moments of perhaps impropriety, but
deep impropriety.
I remember when Ashley and I first started dating back in 1996. She said, "You have to see Harold and Maude." And I'm like, "Oh, it's this old movie. It looks whatever." I'm 5 minutes in, and I'm like,
Gordon.
"I love this movie." And then towards the end, she's like, okay, I know it gets a little, but I was like, I like this.
No, I mean, like, it is also, it's one of those litmus test films where, like, you can make someone watch it and you can learn a lot about them by, like, seeing how they react to it, because it is a lot. And Ruth Gordon is a lot.
Unbelievably good, though.
But, like the...
legendary performance.
Like, the original Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
the whole, it starts with Ruth Gordon, man. She is there to change your life. And get your shit together.
That is kind of an interesting movie to think of in a goth perspective.
It definitely, like, struck me as a child as, like, being, like, the most deeply goth experience
Even crazier than listening to Marilyn Manson and Power Man 5000?
This was before fucking... I saw Marilyn Manson perform, man. This was just when I was kind of figuring out what goth was and what I wanted to do with it and what it meant. And that it had a profound impact on my understanding of how to relate to death and how to relate to cosmic horror, the notion that life is limited and this is all you get, and you have to be constantly aware of that, but in a way that doesn't, like, stress you out.
No, in a way that actually motivates you and causes you to choose rich friendships and experiences, right?
Yeah, I like the thing where she throws the ring into the ocean, like that little bit. Like, that's some good shit, man. That is a smart, wonderful human being who's got their shit together.
Yeah, I would say that person's as close to clear as they get.
Oh man, I hate you. You're terrible. Ruth Gordon, I'll watch Ruth Gordon in anything, man. She's amazing.
She's still around?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, she's long gone, but...
What year did that movie come out? Oh. 70s?
It's got to be the 70s.
70s? Yeah. Watch Harold and Maude, kids, if you haven't seen it. It's a great movie.
It is. It's a good DNA of goth culture.
Yeah.
You can see the building blocks of relating to death in a positive way.
Yeah. Which we all need more of.
It helps.
It does. It actually does. It can lighten the load.
It lightens the load, like Memento Mori. It's the whole point of Memento Mori. Is it makes if you just take a tiny dose every day, it makes it better. You gain an immunity to it.
Yeah, that's why I take 6 different types of poison every morning, because I know people are constantly trying to poison me.
We were wondering what was happening. That's.
I couldn't grow a beard a year ago. That's all the time we have on After Dark, friends. Join us next week as we'll probably still be here.
It's just going to be the two of us again. This is all the show is now.
In these clothes. Thank you, Taliesin, for joining me.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Fake and Flake Marisha. We love you guys.
Feel better, Marisha.
Stay tuned for a Sinine Wisdom.
Snine.
Oh, Kari Payton's going to be on Critical Role Thursday night.
No shit.
Hey, I love him. He's
That's
the best.
a thing.
We're going to try and get him on the show next week.
Yeah. Good luck on that one. Sorry, I don't know why I'm.
It's going to be tough, man.
It's going to be rough.
We find that they respond really fast, and then when they Google the show and they find out I'm the host, they always cancel.
Then they say, call my agent and we'll set it up, but like the agent never calls back. Yeah.
Joe
love that
Manganiello's
trick.
the only one who came on because he likes me. He was like, do you want to
may
work
have
out
asked
together,
him to do
man?
a favor. I think we may have asked him to do a favor.
No. Did you pay Did you pay Mango Jello to come on Todd?
We don't pay. We just ask for a favor.
Oh dang! You're like, you do this, I'll do one for you later.
Like, he knows we owe him. It's
Yeah,
cool.
that's true. That's true. He did steal back.
I owe him a comic book. Shit.
We love you guys. Have a great rest of the week. We'll see you Thursday. But Taliesin, we'll see you tomorrow for Wednesday Club.
I will be here for Wednesday Club. I live at this channel now.
Oh, look.
This is true.
Now, in unison, we should say, don't worry, it's almost Thursday?
All right. On the count of 3. 1, 2.
Don't worry. It's
almost Thursday.
Stay tuned, my friends.